Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So welcome to my first studio vlog, I guess. So I have been making videos in the past, but I have never done a studio vlog before, or at least like recording my daily life. And I felt like doing it. I've actually been meaning to do this for so long. But I was just waiting for like the perfect time to do it, and I realised that there is no perfect time, so here we are. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Emma Thrussell. I'm a freelance illustrator, and welcome! Like I said before, I have made videos before, but I just really wanted to do this kind of format, and also I've been in this house now for about 3 years. I moved from my parents' home into this house, and it's been really cool because I've been able to like take the time to get into a new routine and figure out how to work from home in a slightly different way. And yeah, and also this house has enabled me to have like my own proper room for my studio and a proper space to work. And this is it. This is my new studio. Well, it's new to you. It's not new to me. But that's okay, I can show you around. I'll do like a little mini tour. I could do like a super in-depth tour another time, but honestly there's like not much to show you because it's just kind of like a desk, some drawers. But if you do want that, let me know. So yeah, come on, let's go. I'll show you. So here is the door, and then when you first come in you have this chest of drawers, which I keep a lot of things in. But before we do that, this just ended up becoming a shelf for all of my random toys and things that I have made. So here's a little a me that I did, made of watercolors, and then here's a doll I made of myself because, you know, life at the moment has been interesting, so we found ways to cope. And then in here I've just got like camera equipment. In here I've actually got some Etsy stuff, and then below that is more Etsy stuff, and then just files and portfolio stuff. Yeah, and over here, oh, I forgot the best thing. This is my tiny door. There's 2 in the house and this is one of them. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And then over here is my main desk. So this is where I just do most of my work. So mostly on this side I kind of just keep all my projects that are ongoing, and I can just pick things up and put them over there. Here I've got just all my pens and brushes and equipment. My watercolor paints are here, my gouache paints. And then this little drawer here is really cool because I can keep all of my tubes of paint nice and neatly in here. Some current projects, which I'll show you in a second. These are actually photo albums of like personal photos and stuff, but I've kind of kept them here because they're like the perfect angle for me to put my iPad for like references, or if I'm like watching something. So that's not normally there, but it's just kind of stayed there kind of since lockdown, so there you go. And then here is my pin board, or my grid board, where I kind of pin all my like recent work and things that I have done that I kind of want to just remember how to paint. So these are just some selections of works that I've been doing at the moment, and some paint tests so that when I get round to doing things I can look up and know what I'm doing. And yeah, and then over here is my, I guess, printer area at the moment. So this is just my normal inkjet printer, and then this is just, this used to be my printer. For anyone who remembers my old studio tour, this is the same one, and it's still broken, but I use it as a scanner now. It's just a scanner, which actually I've been using for years, and it has never failed me since, so until it does, I'm going to keep using it. And these are just filled with old work, current work, postage stuff. They do really need to be sorted, honestly. They're actually quite messy. I'll see if I can show you some of the drawers. So like, for example, in here I've got kind of older work just stored away, but I do need to sort this all out. It's a bit of a mess. And then on the other side I've got my desk. So this is where I do all my admin and my editing and everything else that I don't need paints for. So here's my computer. This is my tiny greenhouse, which I built with my partner over Christmas and well beyond. And this is really cool. If it gets dark later I'll show you properly, but basically it lights up, and it was really long and quite difficult to do in some areas, but it was really fun. Yeah, we got it from a kit, and it's just a cool little lamp that I can use when it gets dark, and it fills me with joy. And over here is kind of blank, so at the moment I just use it to pack orders, but eventually this will be my partner's new computer desk, because he'll be moving in with me in a couple of months. So this will all kind of change. He'll probably put up shelves and stuff, make it his own, but for now it's just kind of a blank table with a monitor and my iPad. And lastly, over here is just, oh, it's a bit of a mess, but it basically has everything that isn't in the drawers. We've got, you know, random craft materials, we've got old acrylic paints, and then we've got a million tiny jars. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so today what I need to do is I need to finish off an illustration that I started a week or so ago. I normally paint things with either like watercolor or gouache, and then I finish them later with like colored pencils to fill in like the details and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't mind finishing off that illustration and then scanning it potentially. Then after that I need to scan in another illustration that I did. So basically I have this dinosaur fossil illustration that I'm trying to finish. And this is for like my children's portfolio. I'm trying to build it up at the moment, and what I want to do is, before I potentially ruin it by adding too much to it, I'm going to scan the pieces in and then maybe mock up what I might want to do for the background, whether I leave it or add anything else, because I'm scared I might ruin it. So we're gonna do that. Then later on I need to pack some Etsy orders, and then I need to order more prints because some of them are very shortly going to go out of stock, and I need to do that now. And I need to post something on Instagram because at the moment I'm part of this really cool local showcase, and it's myself and a bunch of other really amazing local artists and creators have their stuff up as like a little mini exhibition locally, so I really want to kind of just put that on my social media, and that should be it for the day. So let's do it. So I finished the illustration and I really like how it's come out. I really just needed to put in the colour pencil. The rest was already painted in with gouache and watercolour. So I'm going to scan that in a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to work on that other illustration that I was talking about. This is going to be kind of like a cool fossil children's illustration spread for my portfolio. So I originally went for this design. So I've got 3 people kind of uncovering the dinosaur, and then I used another version of it and used it as a stencil so that I could then make this. This is going to be the background. I did it separately just because once I'd done all of the gouache and the watercolour layers, you couldn't really see where the pencils were, where the characters would be. So in the end, I just decided to do it on its own, and then I'll kind of cut it together in Photoshop, and then I illustrated the people on their own as well as the tents, so I can kind of just have an easier time piecing it all together. Now the only reason why I haven't already scanned it in is because I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue working on this. So what I would normally do is actually put colour pencil marks and like scribbles and lots of different things onto here, like maybe some shapes with watercolour, just to make it look like dirt and mud. But I just like the way it looked already and I didn't want to ruin it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this in, and I'm going to scan these in as well, and kind of start to piece them together perhaps. But what I really want to do is maybe put this into either Photoshop or Procreate and just mess around with the textures and see if I want to add more or leave it as is, because it could be that I would scribble all over this and then you wouldn't be able to see the characters very well. So I just really want to be cautious because I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to take this off the watercolour board and scan these in. So while I was eating my lunch, I've just been editing my Instagram post, and I was actually doing this before lunch, and I'm all done now, so let's post it. Yay! Ooh. Oh, it's gone! Yay! Awesome! So I've roughly mocked up the fossil illustration spread really quickly, so this is not what it would look like. The edges are very rough. However, I'm just going to go into Procreate now and just see if I want to like add any geometric shapes in the dirt, or whether I want to add any like colour pencil scribbles just to give it some more texture, or whether at the end of all of this I just leave it before I do the final. But I'd rather do this now rather than risk ruining the painting that I've already done. So let's do that. Okay, so I think I've done as much as I can do in terms of playing around with this. So I have a few options. This is the original. I still really like it on its own. I don't particularly want to add anything else, but I just thought this would be a good idea to figure out if I do want to add anything else. So the first thing I tried was scribbling the 6B pencil absolutely everywhere, which actually overall isn't the worst. I really like it. What I could do is do it on a completely different layer, or even a completely different pencil drawing and then comp it in Photoshop. I'm not sure, but this is my favourite so far. So this is with it off and this is with it on. I don't know. Anyway, the next one I've got was this one, which is far more aggressive than I intended. It looks like leopard print from far away, but it's meant to be geometric fossil shapes. And I do like it, but I think it's a bit much. And the whole point is this is the focal point, not this. So I don't particularly like that. However, I did try a version that was smaller and it had little ones, which I do quite like actually. It's softer, it looks a lot nicer. So maybe I'll do an option with this as well as the coloured pencil and see if I like either or, and then I don't have to ruin the main piece with it. Or I could just add it with the pencil, but then I feel like it might be a bit too much. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know in the comments because I'm a little bit lost with this one. I did also add in little white fossils and bones, which I don't mind too much. I'm just a bit concerned that if I want to add text to this, it might lose itself a little bit again, and once again I don't want these to detract away from this, so I don't know. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll work on this some more another day. I've worked on it quite a lot already today, but yeah, some good progress, and I will probably play around with the final textures another time. Right, so that's done. So the last thing I'm gonna do before I wind down for the evening is order some prints for my Etsy store because I'm running very low on stock. So I'm gonna do that now.